That's right. It's the Players Club here on the Youth Sports Report. Every episode, we tell you about a few players that really stood out to us in the world of sports for doing something that we think is amazing. All right, so my edition of the Players Club for this day right here on this Tuesday tonight, the Basketball Hall of Fame. That's right. The 2016 Basketball Hall of Fame list is a legendary list, led off most notably by the man we know as AI. In parts of Virginia, they call him Bubba Chuck, but he's known as Allen Iverson, ladies and gentlemen. The 11-time NBA All-Star was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he had an absolutely fantastic career, really setting the pace for a new generation of players who can slash, dash, handle the ball well, and just cross you over and break your ankles at will. Next up on that list, Tom Izzo, the legendary Michigan State coach who is not too happy the past couple weeks since his team lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament. However, he is just a classic coach, coached so many great players throughout college who turned in to be excellent, absolutely excellent pros. And he's the kind of coach that no matter how his team is doing, they will come through in the big dance and pull it off, except for this year. Next up, Yao Ming. Who remembers Yao Ming? The first notable Asian player of Chinese descent in the NBA, became a cultural icon, not only here in the NBA, but across the world. And he is one of the people who's really helped basketball grow in the international sense, particularly in Asia. Coming up next, the big man, the Shaq Attack, Shaq Fu, if you remember any of that, when it comes back to his early rapping days in the 90s. Shaquille O'Neal, ladies and gentlemen, the three-time NBA Finals MVP, has made his way into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Well-deserved for a legendary character, a legendary personality, and an absolutely legendary player. We've never seen anything like Shaq in the NBA, and we possibly may never see anything since. But you got to give it up to the ladies. Ladies should be first, but in this case, they're going last. But this lady is full of class. That's right, the legendary Sheryl Swoopes, four-time WNBA All-Star Finals MVP. She was one of the players who really helped the WNBA make its mark. Played forever. She was considered the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. And look, we're seeing the WNBA take off with players that we've talked about, Breanna Stewart, other ones. Listen, they would be nothing without this woman right here. Sheryl Swoopes came through. This is a much-deserved class, along with a few others. This is my Players of the Week, my Players Club picks, the 2016 class of the NBA Hall of Fame.
Those are some great names and some, like you said, legendary players. I remember commercials with Yao Ming and just being completely amazed by Shaq throughout his entire career, from what I can remember. Dominant players in the field, making big names for the NBA, and it's just an impressive group of men and women.
That's right. That's right.
It is. And so this week, my pick for the Players Club, the Syracuse Orange women's basketball team. You know, they don't make it to the national championship very often or ever, but it looks like they've made it this year. In their regular season, they were 30-7 overall. They had 13-3 in their conference games, and they had a 5-game winning streak in their regular season. If anybody can take the national championship for the women, I think it's Syracuse. I think they deserve it. But, I mean, they are playing against UConn. It's going to be a really difficult matchup. But if anybody's got the ferocity, the intensity, and the desire to take that win, I think Syracuse has every opportunity to do so. And that's my Players Club pick.
That's her Players Club pick. And note this, guys. That's why I picked Cuse to win the game. You notice that Kimbry took UConn.
Like I said, it's going to be a really difficult matchup. I have every heart in the win for Syracuse. I would love, and last week I said it, I would love to see Syracuse. I would have loved to see both teams take the national championship. But it's going to be really intense. UConn is not a team to take lightly in any means.
They're not at all. They're not at all. They're the champs for a reason. Okay, coming back up, we have our big, bright idea where we're going to talk about possibly Albuquerque stepping up to the professional sports stage. I wonder how. A little bit more on the Youth Sports Report.